Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. I welcome you all to chapter 3 of level 2, Karma Yoga. Let's start with the Mangalacharan. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथन्मथिवं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपकांत राधाकांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय ओम श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओके, तो start. We did till 3.3, right? Okay, 3.30. Okay, so we reached yesterday till the purpose of Bhagavad Gita from point of view to the karma section. Okay. So everything needs to be surrendered to Krishna. This is said by Krishna. Then with full knowledge of him, and without desires for profit, and with no claim of proprietorship, and free from lethargy fight. So this is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita, which is given by Krishna to the Arjuna, that okay, you follow this, then you will reach. We'll continue to 3.31. ये मे मतम इदम नित्यम अनुतिष्ठन्ति मानवः श्रद्धावन्तो न शूयन्तो मुच्यन्ते तेपि कर्मभिः। हरे कृष्ण। वॉलंटियर्स, जननी माता जी, हरे कृष्ण। हरे कृष्ण। अनन्या माता जी, हरे कृष्ण।
Hare
ट्रांसलेट।
Krishna Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Those persons who execute their duties according to my injunctions and who follow these teachings faithfully without envy become free from the bondage of fruitive action. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here, how to get free from the bondage of fruitive actions is being telling by the Krishna, that those persons who execute their duties according to my injunctions, right? Here is Krishna is saying that Vedas has come by me. All this are to be given to the Krishna only. And so follow these injunctions and to follow this teaching faithfully, right? Faithfully, without envy, become free from the bondage of fruitive actions, right? This is what is being said by the Krishna. So we need to basically follow him, right? So there are various varna ashramas, various and various ashramas. There are various varnas, right? There are four kinds of varnas to follow, right? And four kinds of ashramas to follow, right? So be follow as do your duties as per your his injunctions, right? And you follow his teachings faithfully, right? One needs to be faithful. One needs to be faithful, right? Okay, this is my swabhava. Okay, this is my duty as a as a brahmachari. This is my duty as a grahastha. This is my duty as a vanprastha. This is my duty as a sannyasi, right? So all the four parts, four ashramas. One is as per their doing, or whatever their swabhava is there, as per a Brahmana, as per a Kshatriya, as per a Shudra, as per a Vaishya, right? Whatever the Swabhav one has acquired, do his duty, right? It can be changed also. The Swabhav also changed, right? Parshuram changed from Brahmana to the Kshatriya, right? So the Swabhav, the skills of the, acquiring the, following particular Varma can also be changed, right? It changed from the Brahmana to Kshatriya, right? Different, but the aim is to know Krishna, right? So in order to do that, what one needs to do, be free from the bondage of fruitive action, because unless and until one is fully sinless, then only he will go to the God, right? ये त्वयताद् अभ्यासु यन्तो नानुतिष्ठन्ति मे मतं सर्वज्ञान विमूढां स्नान् विधि नष्टान् अचेतसः. हरे कृष्णा. हरे कृष्णा. Rajesh Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. You have come for the first time. Any translation you want to do, Rajesh Prabhuji? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
प्रभु जी प्रणाम प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Sadar Pranam Prabhuji.
जस्ट मैं अ, प्रभु जी ये इंग्लिश में पढ़ने मैं फर्स्ट टाइम ज्वाइन कर रहा हूँ तो थोड़ा सा।
Yes, Prabhuji. What we do, Prabhuji, as a volunteer, we can, read the translation of the sloka, Prabhuji.
ओके आई वुड लाइक टू प्रेफर टू गो फॉर द ट्रांसलेशन।
Yes, Prabhuji. Please, Prabhuji.
बट दोज हु आउट ऑफ एनवे disregard these teachings and do not follow them regularly are to be considered bereft of all knowledge, befooled, and ruined in their endeavors of perfection.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So here, nobody is perfect, right? Nobody is perfect, right? Because they are all into the sense gratification. If one wants to be perfect, what needs to do? He needs to surrender to the Lord Krishna, right? He needs to surrender to Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? Then only he becomes perfect. Unless and he is not perfect, then he is into the three modes of material nature, right? Why he is into three modes of material nature? Due to the, due to the force that is acting through the three modes of nature, right? Because the mind will, mind will have the desire, right? Thinking, feeling, and willing. It will, the mind will have the desire, and then the three modes of material nature will act, and according to that one will react, right? So but those out of envy disregard these teachings, right? Krishna here saying, if you follow this, then you get free from the bondage. If you don't follow, right, out of envy, that I am the lord of this material nature, right? I am the lord. If you do that, then what will happen? Do not follow the regular, to be considered bereft of all your knowledge will be, gone. Will be fooled. He will be befooled of the, temporary nature of the material nature, and the ruined in their endeavors for perfection, because no perfection will be attained, right? Nothing will be perfect, right? You can see anything being executed in this material nature is never perfect, right? It's never perfect, but executed by the, executed by the, ahankara vimula, right? Because he thinks he is the doer. He thinks that he is the doer, and he is acting, but he is acting in the influence of the three modes of material nature, right? So one needs to be, one needs to endeavor for perfection. Then he needs to follow the teachings, right? The manual has come, the Vedas to where aham eva vidu, I am the, I am the, from the Vedas I am to be known. He is the Vedas, right? Vedanta with Vedam, because he's saying that I am the Vedanta, right? I am the knowledge, I am the knowledge, I am the Vedanta. So Krishna is the, given the manual in this world, that okay, these are the Vedas. You follow them, you get free from the bondage of the fruitive action, and then you come to me, right? If you don't do that out of envy, right? I am the doer, I am the, I am the Lord of this material nature, right? Nothing we can create, right? We discussed before also that nothing we can create, everything is being discovered, right? So nothing we can create, not a single grain of, of rice or wheat, nothing we can create, right? Everything is being discovered only, right? From the one part, from energy, from it is converted to the other form, but we can create nothing. So what is there? No, no, that belongs to this body is also not there. So the knowledge is all gone, the befooled, right? One is basically befooled, and they are ruined in their perfection and never for perfection, right? 3.33 सदृशं चेष्टते स्वयश्च प्रकृते ज्ञानवानपि प्रकृतिं यान्ति भूतानि निग्रह किं करिष्यति. माता जी.
हाँ जी प्रभु जी, मैं repeat?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Please,
Even
please.
a man of knowledge acts according to his own nature. For everyone follows the nature he has acquired from the three modes. What can repression accomplish?
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol Prabhuji. So basically, one has some nature, right? One has some swabhava that okay, this is this is my swabhava, this is my nature. If I go into that field, that will be best, right? So the three modes of nature, right? It is acquired from the three modes of material nature, right? The three modes of material nature basically constitutes to do something as per his nature, right? So suppose one has a one has a is a basically in a mode of a satoguna activity, right? So he will be priest, he will not be into the more acquiring more and more material things, right? He will be more into the spiritual knowledge, he will teach about the spiritual knowledge, he will act as per the spiritual knowledge, right? He will do everything as per the spiritual knowledge. That is the brahmana, right? That is done by the brahmana nature, right? One is kshatriya, he likes to administer, right? Administration is there, right? He is a warrior, right? He is a fighter, right? So he will have the courage, right? He will have the courage, he will be fearless. So that kind of nature is having. One is like a business person, and he wants to acquire the material things, right? He wants to acquire the material things, right? And grow and so he is in nature, right? One want to do some services, right? He likes to do some services that okay, I don't want to do that, and I only like to do some services. Okay, I have some I have some skills, I need to use these skills, right? The skill using of the skills as doing as a services. So one has a nature, one has a particular nature that he finds fit for himself, that which is basically acquired by the three modes of material nature, right? But if you are repressing it, right, what one can accomplish, right? Because if someone, right, if you I give you an example, if someone is a brahmana, then he talks, he will never lie, he will never lie about the shastra, right? He even if it say one says that okay, if some king says that okay, I will kill you if you don't say like this, right? And brahmana is made made a kshatriya, suppose he's made as a king, and someone else comes, right? Someone else higher than him comes, and someone says that okay, this has to be said in case of diplomacy. So he won't be doing any diplomacy. The brahmana will act as per the scriptures, he will say whatever that the scripture says, he will say as per the whatever god says. So he will not go away from it, he will be he will have fear of death, but that is not but the knowledge will not be gone, because he will be like, he will be adamant on the scriptures, right? He will be saying that okay, this is scriptures, even if you kill me, then also. But because just of diplomacy, just to just to have a king, become a king or have the seat, he will not go away. So he will be in tension, and he will become fearful, right? He will become fearful at the post of kshatriya, because kshatriya's nature is different, right? He will have the diplomacy, he will have the do the diplomacy, he will say something which is diplomatic too, so that his king, because he is the administrator,
Yes.
the people of the administrator needs to be happy, right? So he needs to administer, or he needs to basically do administration as per the welfare of the society, right? He is do as per that, right? So that is a different nature, right? So everyone has some nature, and one cannot, one should not repair, one should not oppress it. So this is what Krishna said, what can a person accomplish? Nothing he will accomplish, right? Rather he will be having the tension, because today's society Kali Yuga is like that only. One is having different nature, he is doing different job. Everyone is suppose there is a government teacher jobs, right? Now whoever having different kinds of different kinds of activity
Path
of whatever the
activity.
nature is, everyone will go for that competitive exam and become a teacher. That is not the one is liking the job of services, one is liking the job of Vaishya, or Vaishya, one is liking the job of administrator. But no, he will go into the teaching profession, but he is not liking it, then he will go to the tension, right? What am I
How,
doing? I don't.
sorry to interrupt you, how this is anant accomplishment? I mean, yeah, we can, these are the unforeseen things, the feelings, the bhav, the total, even the atma. When we heard about our own, not man, atma, then it always starve for that very everlasting, complete accomplishment. What is the path for that?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I couldn't get you, Prabhuji. You are asking the path for
The
achieving your own nature.
total satisfaction, total uh, तसल्ली समझ गए प्रभु जी.
Okay. Okay,
uh,
Prabhuji. Prabhuji, in that case, basically you are the full blissful, we want to
yes,
achieve
yes.
the Satchidanand Swarupa, right? Satchitanand, right? Full eternal, we are eternal, that we know that we are eternal, and we know that we are full of knowledge, and we have full blissfulness, Ananda, right? Satchitanand, right? In order to
Yes.
attain that, Prabhuji, we need to do self-realization. That is of the soul. Soul is Satchitanand, then the Paramatma, then the Bhagwan. This is done by the surrender only. For this chapter, particular chapter, Prabhuji, we are discussing just on the part of Karma
Okay. Okay.
Yoga. Karma Yoga is will only deal with the part till the karma is acting. Here, the Krishna is only telling about the detailed knowledge which he said in the second chapter about the karma. We will come later to the part that how to attain full blissfulness, right? We
Ji.
have not reached at the part, till the
Right.
chapter
I
Bhakti
got your
Yogas.
point. Just it was my out of sudden that comes
Yes,
into my
yes.
mind. So
No
just
issues,
we
Prabhuji.
will
We will discuss in the Bhakti Yoga part, Prabhuji, that what is Bhakti, then ultimately what is Gyan about that Bhakti, right? How to have achieved that. But in this part, in this chapter, we will discussing about the, through karma, how to
karma,
reach
right.
wherever we are through the karma, right?
Remain in care.
Right. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. 3.3. इन्द्रियशस्येन्द्रियस्यर्थे रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ तयो न वशम् अगच्छेत् तौ हि अस्या परिपन्थिनौ हरे कृष्ण माता जी
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण
There are principles to regulate attachments and aversion pertaining to the senses and their objects. One should not come under the control of such attachment and aversion because they are stumbling blocks on the path of self-realization. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण I will just put the message in the group also. Okay, so there are principles, there are Krishna is saying there are principles to regulate attachment and aversion pertaining to senses and their objects, right? One should not come under control of such attachment and aversion because they are stumbling blocks on the path of self-realization. Why? Because suppose here in the picture of picture of Bharat Maharaj is given. So Bharat Maharaj, what happened with the Bharat Maharaj, he was very young, he was a great ruler. The Bharat Varsha come on his name, and he was at his earlier life he left for the left for the Vanaprastha, and in order to attain the self realization, and then what happened, there was this deer, and the doe, there was the deer who was basically pregnant, and from the womb the doe came out, but the mother deer basically died in the in the river, and the doe was there. Just out of compassion, Bharat Maharaj brought the doe to his ashram and took care of this doe, right, baby deer. And ultimately, he was basically doing self-flagellation. So all the yagna he was doing, all the self-flagellation path he was doing. Now he become too attached to the doe, right? Because when it growed, so what happens? Doe generally they are in the forest, right? So it's their natural tendency to live there, and live as per their as per their natural tendency. They will live, right? But Bharat Maharaj started taking too much care of the this deer, and got attached to the deer. Now during when his at the Antakale Chamameva, when at the end of his life, what he remembered, he doesn't remember the Bhagwan, the Supreme Personality Godhead Krishna, but he remembered the deer. What will happen to my deer when I will go? That similarly happens with what will happen to my family when I will go? What will happen to my child? What when I will go? Right. So this attachment. What happened? Next life he became the deer. Right. There was this. There was a and Srila Prabhupada, what happened once Srila Prabhupada had a devotee, right? He had a devotee. He asked to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, what will happen to my family, my wife, and my child, only one child, when I will go, Prabhuji, right? What will happen to them, right? This is the concern of the devotee, right? He was very concerned, too much concerned, right? He was too much, baffling, and he was too much concerned about this. What will happen, right? He was into coming into the Krishna consciousness. So the Prabhupada said that, okay, you do one thing, you just just die for some time, right? So what are you saying, Prabhupada? How can I die for 1 month? Now just go to live some some religious place just for 1 month, right? Everything will be okay. So he did that actually. He did that. He went for he went to 1 month in live in a religious place, and what happened, the wife and children, they all got they all got basically they were all all okay, even he was not there. So they assumed also that okay, he is dead, right? He assumed also he is dead. Okay, now they have to live on their own. So they are starting. Now, after 1 month, when he came back, he saw that okay, my children is also good, my wife is also good, right? So both the child and the wife are all okay. Right? So it's not like that we are taking care of anything. We are not the maintainer. You need to understand that we are not the maintainer. So this attachment, through senses and their objects, this is very, these are basically the stumbling blocks. These senses, this attachment, that we are giving, the attention we are giving, this is the stumbling blocks of the self-flagellation, right? Whatever consciousness we are building up, that will be now, at the end of the life we will remember that only, right? Nothing else we will remember, right? If we close our eyes, if we don't see Krishna, then we are in a worry, right? That we need to worry. We need to progress, right? We need to progress. So one basically needs to, come out of this illusion that, you are the maintainer. No, ahankar vimadata karta hamiti mantade. Yes, because, ahankar, due to the influence of the false ego, only we are thinking that we are the doer. No, the three modes of material nature is the doer, and the maintainer is the supreme God. Vasudevam sarvamiti, right? So he is the, he is the basically, he is the maintainer. 3.35 Shreyan Swadharmo Viguna Paradharma Swanushtitat Swadharme Nidanam Shreya Paradharmo Bhayavaha. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji. Anyone?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat
May I?
Pranam. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. It is far better to discharge one's prescribed duties, even though faultily, than another's duties perfectly. Destruction in the course of performing one's own duty is better than engaging in another's duty. For to follow another's path is dangerous. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here it is, here Krishna is saying, it is better to perform your one's own prescribed duty. What is your prescribed duty? As per your own nature, right? He is saying, Krishna, that don't repress, you do not repress your own nature. It will not, you will not accomplish anything, because doing others' activities, it is dangerous, right? It is dangerous to follow any other's path. You are having a nature of teaching. Yeah, you are having a nature of teaching, and you go into, you are having a nature of teaching, as a scriptures, but you go into the path of some other kind of, for business, right? What will happen? You will not be able to do that. You will not be able to. So your nature is, dependent. So you will be frustrated, right? But if you are into your own nature, then what will happen? Only blissful. You will be following your passion only, right? So you will have your prescribed duties as per your nature. So that is what is saying, that distraction in the course of performing one's own duty is better than engaging in others' duties, right? So it's better to follow one's own duty. However, it should be perfect. Whatever is there, it may be perfect, it may be not perfect, but it is as per your own nature. So that is more fruitful than anything else, because following others' path is dangerous, because your nature is not like that, and you will get frustrated. Many people are there that who are not into their as per the nature. They go to the psychiatrist, they do go to the counselor, all the things come into their path, right? So now we come to the section 5, conquering the ultimate enemy, lust, right? Because conquering the ultimate enemy, lust, right? The lust is the lust we basically learned in the previous chapter, that contemplating on the sense objects, leads to the basically the origin of lust, right? That leads to the origin of lust. By the lust comes the, by when the lust does not gets fulfilled, then anger comes, right? From the anger basically, the wrath comes in, ultimately the bewilderment of memory, and one comes to the illusion and the downfall, right? So this is the vicious cycle, that vicious cycle. So it's all starts from the lust, the desires we have. So next, Arjuna asked an important question. After hearing text 3.34, one may determinedly think, yes, from today onward, I will steadily do my duty and control my attachments and aversions. I will act only according to Shastra. Right? This will only, we will thought that, okay, today I have read the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, from today I will do all my duty, all the things, today I have learned all this and I will do that. Right? I will act according to Shastra, right? But experienced teachers state that, however, such immediate inspirations may prove difficult to adhere to over time, right? Because these sudden decisions will not be, they will not be beneficial, right? Will not be beneficial and will not have that much effect. Arjuna, being aware of the reality, asks the following question, right? He knows that, even if you think that, okay, I will follow this from tomorrow, right? Follow this from tomorrow, from today, from now on, but still the reality is that, but however, from the over time, it will all go, right? It will all go. So there is, there's how it will all go. There's the question will be asked by the Arjuna now. 3.36. Arjuna Vacha Atakena Prayukto Yam Papam Charati Purusha Anicham Api Varshneya Baladiva Niyojita. Hare Krishna Mataji. Anyone? Hare Krishna. Praveen Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Purva Mataji.
Hare Krishna, may I,
Hare,
Prabhu?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Purva Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Arjuna said, O descendant of Parsi, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force?
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So what is compelling? Even if someone is decided, right? Okay, from today I know this Shastra. Today I know this. I have read the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, the lust is my enemy. It is the greatest enemy. Then what is compelling me again and again, right? Why anger is coming? Why envy is coming? Why ignorance is coming? Why false prestige, greed, lust, pride, attachment? Why these all things are coming? By what force it is coming? So Arjuna is asked that. So now Krishna tells that right away the Krishna. So he's a very, Arjuna asked, teachers, he's a correct teacher. He's a, best teacher, right? Because he doesn't, all kinds of questions Arjuna is asking, but he never says that, okay, what kind of question you have asked, right? This is a stupid question. Nothing like that, right? He smiles, he answers the question, right? This is the question, this is my answer, right? Directly, straight away he gives the answer, right? श्री भगवान उवाच काम एषा क्रुधा एषा रजो गुण समुद्भवः महाशनो महापापं विधेयनम् इह वैरिणम् हरे कृष्ण
May I, Prabhu?
यस प्रभु जी, यस प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्ण
The Supreme Personality of God had said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world.
हरे कृष्ण हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna, bro.
So in this, basically, the lust, the now, why it is there? Because of lust. So here he is saying, Krishna is saying that, okay, the lust which is born of contact of mode of passion, right? Material mode of passion, right? There is later transformed into wrath, right? Material mode of passion is basically coming, which is basically the origin of lust, right? Whatever the lust is there, it is due to the material mode. In the ignorance, nothing is there. In the ignorance, one is basically a fool, number one, right? One is basically, he is doing nothing, just sleeping. Right, that is the ignorance part. But at the mode of passion, one comes to self-interest. When the greed comes, he starts working. One starts working, just for the self-interest, for the fruits of the results. By that lust comes, right? And later transformed into wrath, right? And which is all the devouring sinful enemy of the world, right? Ultimately, what is coming? Anger and wrath is coming, right? That is not good for the society, because the negative energy will travel now. Right, in the previous one, we say, this cycle, with this vicious cycle, we saw that by contemplating the objects of the senses, right, thinking, feeling, and willing state, the thinking, you just thinking, just, okay, I want to buy this car, I want to buy this car, right? Suppose you want to buy this car, and you are thinking, okay, that, okay, I need to buy this car. Now, the feeling state, one develops attachment for that. Okay, buy this car, feeling what feeling that, okay, this I will show this to, the society, I will show this how I will drive, right? So fast I will drive, so slow I will drive. This will be my car, right? But what it will lead to the willing and doing state, right? You will go and then buy the car, right? Which leads to the lust, right? Which leads to lust, and then unsatisfied lust. If it is not by, because you don't have money, right? If you are not able to acquire that money, then the unsatisfied lust results in anger. The lot of anger, a lot of frustration is there. That will lead to the delusion, right? Everything is like that only. I cannot have money. This world is like that only. Then the bewilderment will come, right? And then the loss of intelligence. One won't be able to think that how the society is there, why they, I am not getting anywhere. He will not be able to contemplate why these things are happening, right? And then one will fall down into the gross material existence, right? Okay, so he's basically, his mind is all destroyed. Yes, Hare Krishna Sadhana Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, it says which is born out of contact with the material modes of passion. That
Yes,
means when we see something, when we hear something, when we touch something, that is how we come in contact with the objects, sensory objects. So those who are at a disadvantage, we saw materially, we feel that they are of disadvantage, they're not able to see or hear. Is it to an advantage, spiritual advancement? Is it of any advantage to them in the in terms of spiritual advancement, or how do we understand this, Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna Mataji. No, Mataji, it's not like, it's not the real contact that which is being talked here. It is the born of contact. It means the material mode of passion. Basically, the material mode of passion is being in contact with this body, right, Mataji? It is in contact with the body. So here the shloka is talking about the mode of passion being in contact with the living entity, the soul, which is getting bewildered, right? Not the original, the real contact which the hand is making, the touch is making. It is not about the senses, Mataji. It is about the soul's contact with the mode of material mode of passion, Mataji. So which is basically influencing ones to going towards the lust. So if there is there is lust is coming inside us for anything, for any object, then what is happening, basically the mode of passion is working. By this shloka you can see that okay, mode of passion is, I am basically in mode of passion, I am not in mode of mode of goodness.
Right.
So by this you can judge. By this you can this is the gauge by which we can test that okay, whether I am in mode of passion, whether I
Yes.
am in mode of goodness, or whether I am in mode of ignorance, right? So it all
So
tells me.
Prabhuji, it is the soul which desires, and the body becomes an instrument to fulfill it. Right, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes,
Is it
Mataji. Yes, Mataji. The body is just the instrument,
right?
Mataji. The body is the gross body is just the instrument in order, the karmendriyas, the five karmendriyas we learned about, Mataji. They are the karmendriyas, basically the knowledge acquiring, the working senses, and the five are the knowledge acquiring senses. Then we work through the karmendriyas, Mataji.
But Prabhuji, who senses whether it is the sense of mode of passion or ignorance? It is sensed again by the soul, Prabhuji.
Mataji, what is happening? There is the three layers we learned about, right? There is the soul, the outer, then the covering is of the subtle covering is of the the mind, intelligence, and false ego, and there is the gross body, right, Mataji? So all three things are different, Mataji. We are just getting an instrument. You want to play a guitar. If I say you play the guitar, and if I don't give you the guitar, then how can you play, right, Mataji? Similarly, if I say that okay, lift this, you lift this chair, right, then you need some body, right, Mataji, to lift the body, you lift the chair, right? So the soul is demanding that okay, for able to lift, the body is needed. Soul doesn't have any body, right, Mataji? Some spiritual body you need, some material body you need. Currently, we are having material body, Mataji, made from Panch Mahabhuta.
One last question, Prabhuji. So
Yes.
all this thinking, feeling, and willing stage is by the soul, Prabhuji.
No, Mataji, that is done by the mind, Mataji. Soul is all blissful, Mataji. Soul is all blissful. The only fundamental actually what is happening, Mataji, the habit is coming into play. Due to the three modes of material nature, what is happening, we are having the habit. This is the we get small credits or small happiness, right? By buying this car, by or by buying anything, having lording over the material nature. So what happened, through the ages and ages of lifetimes, our soul is covered by the mind, intelligence, and ego, right? So it has acquired so much of conditioning is being done, that okay, this is the thing, how we get happiness. So this little happiness covered by the soul, the soul is covered by the mind, intelligence, in false ego, which is basically not, we are not able to get that okay, this is the actual thing, right? We are not able to realize the soul. We are realizing ourselves through this body only, because this body is getting our satisfaction for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 year, 3 months, right? Various kinds of satisfaction here. So we are conditioned, Mataji. The soul's fundamental position is only one thing: to serve the eternal, serve the supreme personality of Godhead. Then only it will be happy, because it is all happy. We are just not able to desire at the level of soul. But once we know that we are not the body, we are the soul, this will not affect, Mataji.
Right, Prabhu. Because above the mind is intelligence, and the intelligence has to be strengthened by scriptures. Right,
Yes, yes,
Prabhuji?
yes,
Yeah.
Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very well explained. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. 3.38 धूमेन व्रियते महिनीर यथा दर्शो मलेन च यथोल्बेनावृतो गर्भस्तथा तेनेदम अवृतम. Hare Krishna. Translation anyone?
May I, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
As fire is covered by smoke, as a mirror is covered by dust, or as the embryo is covered by the womb, the living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of this lust. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So here, no, it is being spoke that how the lust have the degrees. Then degrees of the lust are being given, right? The examples are given by Krishna that as the fire is covered by smoke, that right. There is, the pure thing is inside. The soul is basically, the soul is pure. It is all pure, but it is, it has a covering of a smoke. Like the fire, it's already there, right? The fire is the smoke, right? The fire is, the fire is there, and the lust is the smoke, right? Then there, that is a 1 degree, right? As a mirror is covered by dust, mirror is, all blissful. You consider a mirror as, that okay, it is all blissful, that is the soul, and the dust is basically the covering, that is which is the lust. Or as the embryo is covered by the womb. The three things are given, right? In sometimes in satoguna, sometimes in rajoguna, and tamoguna, right? Basically it is giving in the 3 degrees, right? The fire is there, but it is covered by smoke. The mirror is there, covered by lust, right? The living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of this lust. So different degrees are being given. One, it is one which is covered, and basically in the womb, embryo is covered by the womb. It can do nothing. It can do nothing. One is covered by the dust in the mirror. It can do something. One is covered. The smoke is covered by the fire. It can do a lot more, right? So this is where is the degree. He is less. The fire is covered by smoke. Is less lust. Mirror is covered by dust. Some more lust is there. Embryo covered is by the womb is higher lust, very lustful, right? Very lustful. Different degrees are there. 3.39 Avratam Jnanam Etena Jnanino Nitya Vairina Kamarupeena Kaunteya Dushpurena Nalena Cha. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thus the wise living entity's pure consciousness becomes covered by his eternal enemy in the form of lust, which is never satisfied and which burns like fire. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the what is happening when what is happening? The living entity is pure consciousness, which is pure consciousness is the soul, right? Becomes covered by a certain energy because one is in a tree basically. Various fruits are there. So what is happening? He is going to one fruit and taking another fruit. The cycle goes on, right? In the form of the lust, not getting the fruit, then coming the anger, then coming the wrath, right? The bewilderment will be there, and the downfall will be there. So which is never satisfied and which burns like fire, right? If you ask, if you even you try to satisfy the child by giving things, you keep giving him till his death. Still, he will say that, okay, father, I had enough, I had enough of material things from you, but still I am not satisfied. This will be the statement of your own child, to whom you love, and ultimately will say that, okay, still I am not satisfied. So we need to see at what kind of satisfaction are we demanding. Is it the temporary things, is it the eternal things, right? So the eternal enemy, the eternal, it is here said that pure consciousness becomes covered by his eternal enemy in the form of lust, right? The form of lust is always an eternal enemy which is never satisfied and which burns like fire, right? If you keep, basically, if you are giving some things, basically you are putting, you are putting basically the oil into, basically you are putting the ghee and the oil into the fire only, right? Again and again satisfaction, it's like, if you have some itching, right? If you have some itching, you start itching at that particular skin time, then what happens? You keep on itching, you still are not satisfied, you keep on itching and keep on itching, you will be never be satisfied. So this is what happens. Ultimately what happens, the skin breaks and the blood comes out, right? So this is what happens. It burns like never satisfied, which burns like fire. 3.40 Indriyani manu buddhir ashyadhishtanam uchyate eterve mohati esha jnanam avartya dehinam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
The senses, the mind, and the intelligence are the sitting places of this lust. Through them, lust covers the real knowledge of the living entity and bewilders him. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So where is the lust sitting? In the senses, right? Through eyes, you see things. Lust is sitting there. You from the nose, you smell things. The lust is sitting there. From ears to listens to things, right? Lust is sitting there. From the tongue, from the touch, taste, from the tongue, you taste things, lust is sitting there. From the touch, the lust is sitting there. So various things are there. If you are seeing something wrong, then lust will acquire, right? The story of Jamila is the best example, right? He gone and he used his eyes for the sense gratification. So such a pious being, with such a pious soul and such a pious being, what happened just by seeing, just by seeing the things which is not prescribed as per scriptures, what happened? The lust acquired him, and ultimately the downfall came, right? Similarly, the best example can be taken, this example can be taken, how to overcome that. Just engage your senses in the service of the Lord, right? From the service of the Lord, right? Like the Ambarish Maharaj, right? What he did, he saw the, he started seeing from his eyes the, the deities of the Lord, then he starts smelling the flowers of the Lord, then he's last listening to the, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, from the glories of the Lord. From the tongue, he starts speaking the glories of the Lord. From the touch, he start touching the lotus feet of the Lord, right? So all the senses, engaged in the service of the Lord, then you can conquer. Else, what is happening? This all the lust is sitting in your mind also, right? Thinking, feeling, and willing. Various, the mind will be there, and the more powerful the intelligence will be there. Okay, how to do things, the intelligence will provide you, right? Through them, the lust covers the real knowledge of reviewing entity, right? Due to this, what will happen? Because it is like Bhogeshwarya Prasaktanam Taya Partha Chesasam Vyavasayatmaka Buddhi na Samadhana Vidyate, right? Because Bhogeshwarya Prasaktanam. If you are too much into the Bhoga and Aishwarya, right? Too much into the and attached to the attached to the sense enjoyment propensity, what will happen? The resolute determination to serve the Lord will not take place, right? Because too much into that, what will happen? These senses will be engaged in that. You will think that okay, this is the happiness. Yes, happiness is there, but the happiness is temporary or eternal. You want temporary happiness or eternal happiness, right? So we need to go about that. We need to have the higher taste, right? We need to have the higher taste. So Sudram, lust covers the real knowledge of the living entity in bewildered sense, right? So we don't want to, the lust is basically, the real knowledge is basically inside, and we are, entangled in the lust only due to the three modes of material nature. Tashmatvam indriyani adau niyam ya bharatarshava papam papmanam prajahi enam jnana vijnana nashanam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Therefore, O Arjuna, the best of Bharatas, in the very beginning curb this great symbol of sin, lust, by regulating the senses and say this destroy of knowledge and self-realization.
Hare Krishna. Therefore, O Arjuna, best of Bharatas, right? Best of Bharatas, in the starting age, when you are a child, this great symbol of sin, is lust, right? By regulating the senses and slay this destroyer of knowledge and self-passion, right? Because, all the early Vedic Vijay, what used to happen at the 5 years of age, one used to go to the ashrama in order to know his swabhava, right? We cannot, it is now very difficult to know one's nature. But what used to happen in the Vedic age, they used to go to 5 years of age, 5-6 years of age, used to go to the ashrama. They used to follow the brahmachari rules, brahmacharya ashram rules, and ultimately do know one's nature, and they try, they acquire basically, they curb the symbol of sin, lust, right? By following the regulative senses, regulative principles, right? So by regulating the senses, and they slay the destroyer of knowledge and say the destroyer of knowledge and self-flagellation, right? So lust is basically destroying the knowledge and self-passion. So we need to practice in the very early time. So it's very necessary when we start in the bhakti yoga. What we do, we start following the four regulative principles, right? It is very necessary to start following the four regulative principles, by which what will happen? You will get away from the lust, right? Which is basically destroying your self-flagellation path, right? Because it is engaging you. Because if you are not into Krishna consciousness, then one is into material consciousness. You need to decide what kind of time you are giving. Yeah, either you are giving it to the material consciousness, or you are giving to the Krishna consciousness, right? Every minute of your life is valuable, right? Because at the end of the life, if we don't remember Krishna, then what is what is the benefit, right? What is the benefit? And we given so much time, amount of time, and ultimately don't remember the Krishna. So we need to be serious about this, right? So lust is basically having different, text 38, we having different degrees of lust, coverings of lust, degrees are there. So in the beginning of starting of the beginning of Krishna consciousness, smoke is like covered by fire. Like currently one is starting as somebody starting the Krishna consciousness, so he will realize that okay, he has come at least to the platform that there is some problem, right? This firstly one should know that there is some problem. If he has not identified that okay, there are fourfold miseries are there with birth, death, old age and disease, the fourfold miseries are there, or okay, something is wrong, something is wrong. If one has not discovered this, one is not realized it, then one is not started beginning of Krishna consciousness also, right? So if starting is Krishna consciousness, one is realized that okay, there is a problem, one needs to accept that okay, there is some problem, right? They will start. So that is a less degree of less degree of lust, right? Because he is starting to at least realize, right? Cleansing by spiritual methods, and then in the second part degrees, the cleansing by spiritual methods, right? One needs to clear how to by spiritual methods, by by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, right? You will start clearing the dust that which is covering the mirror. Gradually one becomes pure, right? Because if one doesn't pure and he goes into directly into the vanprastha sannyasi, then what will happen? He will make chaos, right? We are not seeing God right now. Why we are not seeing? We are wanting to see the God right now, right? But we can't see because we are not we are not qualified. We are not qualified to see. We will make chaos. If currently we go to the Vaikuntha, what will happen? We will make some chaos. So that is the reason we are here now. So we are just making ourselves qualified to be there, right? For example, you want to meet the Prime Minister of India, you become the Cabinet Secretary, then you meet, right? Or become the some minister, then you meet. So one becomes qualified to meet someone, right? So it is we are not qualified yet, so we are here, right? We are trying. So once he will, Krishna will get pleased, you will we go there. So knowledge completely covered. Wo memory was the best example that totally covered. The knowledge completely, no one, not coming out of it, right? So second part, basically, we are at the second part, we can say that we are cleansing by spiritual methods, that we are chanting Hare Krishna mantra, and we are doing, following the regulative principles, right? By that, at least we reach to the beginning of Krishna consciousness, right? We are not even started at the beginning of Krishna consciousness. What are the more characteristics of the lust? That cover, it covers the living entity's pure consciousness. Lust is the signal of ignorance, right? Lust is never satisfied, right? It burns like fire. Satisfying lust is like adding fuel to the fire, right? How to stop it? Stop feeding it, let it die, right? Stop feeding it. If itching is there, stop doing the itching part, right? Let it be there. It will go. It will subside. Whatever lust is coming in your mind, it will subside. Just stop feeding it. Stop try to contemplate on it, right? Stop try to think on it, right? So the sitting places of lust, it is on the senses also, it is on the mind also, it is on the intelligence also, right? And then what happens? The center of all activities of the senses, and reservoir of ideas of our sense gratification, lust, intelligence, capital, influences soul to acquire, soul acquires the false ego. What it acquires the false ego, how it acquires? That he is not the living entity, he is rather a body. He is not the soul, he is the body. Right? That is, that is given by the mind intelligence due to the conditioning that is being given, right? Due to the influence that acquires it false ego. So how to overcome the lust? Start reading Bhagavad Gita, right? Start chanting. Even a late beginner can become lover of God by following regulative principles of devotional service, right? The best part of Bhakti, Bhakti Yoga is that one does not needs to do, purifying activity, all the yagna and all, nothing. You just need to go for the devotional service. Even something is, something, sometimes someone has broken something, somehow. Still, the Bhakti Yoga is so simple and so purified that you keep on following the regulative principles and doing devotional service. You will get purified. 3.4 Indriyani parani ahur indriyabhya param mana manashastu para buddhi yu buddhi paratastu saha. Right, here it is given the mind is between the senses and intelligence, right? Senses, body, or the body, the senses are superior to dull matter, right? At least someone is having senses that is having superior to the body, right? Mind is higher than the senses, the intelligence is still higher than the mind, and the soul is even higher than the intelligence, right? So highest is the soul, lowest is the body and the senses. So whom can we control? Hare Krishna, can anyone tell to whom it is easy to control? Which is easy to control? Can we control senses, mind, or intelligence? Which can we control easily? Hare Krishna.
Mind.
Okay, anyone else answer? Okay, Prabhuji is saying mind we can control. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, intelligence. Because intelligence can be purified by reading the scriptures.
Okay, Mataji is saying intelligence can be purified. Okay, okay, by the scriptures. Okay. Okay, just a minute. I need to take this call. Okay, any else answers? Mind, intelligence, which is easy to control. Okay, I will put it like this. That suppose a ball is falling from the soul, some big ball is or let's take example, let's example of having senses is basically it's superior to just dull matter, so it's a small ball, okay, and the mind is mind is a bigger ball and intelligence is a much bigger ball, right? So what do you think that if I ask you to throw 3 meters at least, this balls, senses, mind, intelligence, which can you easily throw? Hare Krishna. Janani Mataji, Purva Mataji, senses as per the ladder it is okay. Which can you throw? Hare Krishna. Which ball can be easy to throw? The smallest ball or the biggest ball?
Smallest.
Smallest, right? So why it is smallest? Why it is smallest?
Lighter and
Why?
easier to handle, Prabhuji.
Yes, lighter, lighter, easier to handle, right? So senses are like that only, Matari. The mind and intelligence is what is happening to the mind. Everything, due to the conditioning. The mind and intelligence has been attached with the soul for a very long time. Due to that, what has happened, some habits have aroused, habits have come or attached with the soul due to the mind intelligence. Now you have got the senses, as from the body, right? The body has some senses, right? The body and there's senses, basically, doing the karms, right? What karma indriyas, working senses are these. Now it is easy to avoid. Suppose you are seeing something bad, right? Something bad. It is easy to avoid, to use your body and use your body and go away from there or close your eyes, and that is much easier. But if you tell the intelligence, then what will happen? Tell the or tell the mind, what will happen? The start contemplation will be started. For example, you want to have a one wants to have a basically a cigarette, okay? So your hand can stop, your hands and legs can be stopped to go to a go some shop and buy the cigarette. But what the mind and intelligence will do, the mind will say that okay, once in a lifetime I can have. What is wrong in that, right? The intelligence will give you this intelligence, and the mind will be like, okay, it is already desired, right? It is already desired, and that I want to have the cigarette. That was the desire of the mind, not the senses. The mind has the desire. Intelligence is giving you the logical program that okay, once for a lifetime, nothing wrong will go. Right? This is the play of mind intelligence. But the senses can be stopped, right? You will not go to the shop to buy a cigarette, then nothing will happen. So let the mind intelligence play their game, but the senses can be stopped, right? So it is easy to stop, to stop, through the senses one can do that, and by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the soul is itself captured, the highest thing is captured, the senses, you try to control the senses, and the soul is feeded by the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, so the soul gets purified through senses, mind, intelligence gradually, right? So that is the best method. These are the stages that bodily platform is there. The bodily platform one is basically it's full of ignorance. It's full of ignorance. One is at the bodily platform. It is basically mode of ignorance only. He's want to have, intoxication, all the bad things he wants to. It is the bridally platform. Was just want to enjoy. And the second is the sensual platform, right? Little bit coming about, little bit coming about to the, coming at the state, trying to come out of it, right? What mode of ignorance. And then one comes to the mental platform. Mental platform is start working, start thinking about something. Mode of passion arises from here. The mode of passion, start reading things, right? Then one gets the comes out of mental, the intellectual platform. The one starts to know that you are not the body and you are the soul. That one comes to the intellectual platform. From the intellectual platform, one comes to the spiritual platform. That okay, he knows that he is not the body, he is the soul, and from that he comes to the stage of spiritual platform. One becomes happy, right? So these are the various stages. So solution for the lust is higher, hierarchy of sitting places of lust are basically, the soul, mind, intelligence, the senses, right? So what is the solution? The Bhagavad Gita is the solution, right? So different outlets for activities of lust are there. Sight, sight, hearing, taste, touch, smell, right? All these senses. Even the soul is the master of intelligence, mind, and senses. Unless it is strengthened by Krishna consciousness, there is every chance of falling down due to the agitated mind. Right? Because our mind is agitated, that's why if you even try to control senses, you cannot directly control. So one needs to become Krishna conscious first, right? So Krishna conscious, becoming Krishna conscious is very necessary. Hare Krishna. 3.43 एवं बुद्धि परम बुद्ध्वा समस्तभ्यात्मानम् आत्मना जहि शत्रुं महाबाहो कामरूपं दुराशदम्. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna, may I, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thus, knowing
Right.
oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind, and intelligence, O mighty armed Arjun, one should study the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, that is Krishna consciousness, and thus, by spiritual strength, conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So one needs to know oneself to be transcendental to the material senses. How to become transcendental to the material modes of nature? Through Krishna consciousness, right? So Almighty Arjuna, one should study the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, right? And thus by spiritual strength, right, conquer known as lust. So here also Krishna only path, only path to basically come out of this material modes of nature. One is not chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, then nothing will happen. They're starting, someone, if you have gone to this Karol Bagh in Delhi, what happens, all who are preparing for the civil services, they are recommended that okay, before interview you go, you read the Bhagavad Gita, and then you go. They all, all of them, yeah, maximum of them, they read the Bhagavad Gita and they go to the interview. That is good, that is fine, okay. But what happens, they don't chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. They are not acquiring, not practicing spirituality rather. So if not practicing spirituality, what happens, all the corruptions and all what is happening in India right away, right? You can see a lot of things, bad things or corruptions are happening. Even after, so many people are going to becoming through company exams, and many various officers are becoming, still, huge corruption is going on. Why it is going on? Because, because the spiritual advancement or spiritual practice is not there. And just reading the Bhagavad Gita is not implementing the life is not sufficient, because what will happen, you will not be transcendental to the material modes of nature. You will not be transcendental to the senses, mind, and intelligence. That conditioning will keep on. So it is very necessary that we chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. If you chant, then you will be saved. Srila Prabhupada used to tell that if you chant 16 rounds properly, attentively, then Maya cannot conquer you. Maya cannot conquer. You can, you can experience it by yourself only, right? So here we come to the three sections, the chapter three sections. What were they? 3.1 to 9. We dealing with the confusion that okay, which is better? Arjuna says that in 3.1 and 2, Arjuna asked to Krishna that which is better? Renunciation or doing work, right? You tell me, renunciation, working in Krishna Nishkam Karma. Because in the second chapter, Krishna, Arjuna thought that by intelligence one needs to avoid the war. This is what Krishna is saying. Arjuna has thought like that, but no. Krishna told that, okay, this is not the case. Renunciation is not that. The Falgu Vairagya should not be, Yukta Vairagya should be there. Everything should be used in, in used to the, in the service of the Lord, right? If you do that, you become non-attached to the any work, you kind of work, then that is not, that is not renunciation, right? Falgu Vairagya one needs to do. Yukta Vairagya one needs to do. From 3 to 10 to 16, we learned that Karma Kandi to Karma Yoga. How one becomes a Karma Kandi, how becomes a one Karma Kandi, just enjoying the fruits of the result is a Karma Kandi. How to become Karma Yogi, detaching from the fruits of the result. The only thing that has been changed by the both persons, they are both doing the same work. Nothing is changed, just the attitude is changed. Attitude is changed, that one is, detached from the fruit results and dedicating it all to the Krishna, right? 3.70 to 35, we learned Nishkam Karma, acting dutifully with detachment to set the correct example. Yat Yat Acharati Shreshtas. Whatever, whatever leaders do, whatever example the leaders set, the common men follow, right? This is what Krishna says, that to the answer to the destruction of family dynasty. That, okay, you say, Arjuna, you say that destruction of family dynasty will be there. No, Arjuna, but because if you don't, fight this war, then what will happen? Everyone will follow you. So, this is not the way. Even, Krishna says that even I am doing all this. I am doing that. Nothing is, no prescribed duties is mentioned for me. But still, I am doing the prescribed duty, because if I will not do, what will happen? The laws of the, the laws of the society will be there, and everyone will follow me. If I do something wrong here, everyone will follow that also, right? So he is also doing his duty. You also do his duty. This is what Krishna tells, right? Nishkam karma, acting dutifully with detachment to set the correct example. 3.3643, beware of the lust and anger, right? This is the greatest enemy. This is the greatest enemy, the lust and the anger, right? This is basically, if you don't avoid this, then the loss is waiting for you. This is very dangerous, right? So we finished till here, chapter 3. From tomorrow we will start chapter 4. Hare Krishna. Any questions on today's class?
Prabhuji, can I ask Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, soul when in the initial stage, when it separates from the super soul, at that time, if there is no desire, how does it get separated?
I don't understand, Mataji. Matlab, super soul is always in the, Mataji, what happens? Super soul is not an attachment to the soul, Mataji. What is happening? The Shirodakshai Vaishnu is entering into the every living, every part of this material nature and living entity, okay, as a Sakshi, Updrashtanu Mantacha, right? So, Bharta Bhokta Maheshwara, right? He is basically the permitter and the overseer, right? He is the permitter and overseer. He is basically the Sakshi of everything, right? He is the, he is noting everything through Shirodakshai Vishnu, right? Shirodakshai Vishnu is entering into everything. So we have this body, right? We have this body made up of atoms, right? Atoms are there. If atoms are there, then in every atom, Shirodakshai Vishnu is present. In every microbes, in every bacteria, Shirodakshai Vishnu is present, right? Because it knows all the souls, right? And Krishna says that I know through super soul, he knows everything. But the individual souls only himself, right? The individual, we come in this part in the Jnana Yoga part, right? The Jnana Yoga part from the 13th chapter, we'll learn about this, right? What is Kshetra, what is Kshetrajna, all these three things we will learn. So it is not the attachment. The super soul is present everywhere. The soul is just wandering here and there, Mataji. The soul, it is not an attachment, Mataji. The Shirodakshi Vishnu is present everywhere. That is what is happening, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Right, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Anyone else? Any other questions?
And Prabhuji, one more thing. Lust comes because of attachment, or attachment comes because of lust? What
Attachment
comes?
comes out of lust, Mataji.
Okay.
One becomes basically, one becomes basically, uh, lust is coming out of attachment actually, Mataji. Because attachment comes first, then only lust will come. If attachment is not there, then lust is not there, Mataji.
So, Prabhuji, basically, we have to get rid of attachment and the,
Yes.
what is the other thing?
Anger, Mataji,
And
coming
the
out of
anger,
lust.
anger. Attachment and anger. Yes.
Attachment is the main thing, Matari, because our desire, basically the root all comes to the desires only, Matari. Everything what is coming, the attachment and all, Matari, it is all coming out of the desire only. So basically in Bhagavad Gita, it is only recommended to control the desires. The desires needs to be controlled.
Right, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Mataji.
Prabhuji, just I want to share my what I just got learned so far
Yes, yes,
from
yes,
practicing
yes.
the Bhagavad Gita.
Sure, Prabhuji.
What I learned that the soul is a integral part of the super soul, right? We the through the whole passage of life, we maximum in 95% used to hear the voice of a mind. I myself used to ask myself within to my soul whether I ever fulfilled the instinct and desires of the soul, which is a part of the super soul. Then I started believing in the slowly I am adhering that ki I should also hear the voice of my soul also. I think, but I'm just learning from this thing. And I am totally slowly detaching myself from the materialistic urge. Slowly, it is also apparent to me when I am passing through the soul. Is it right that what I am experiencing is it right that what I'm experiencing right now from this context? Can you tell me whether whatever I am believing or I have believed is right after
Yes,
practicing
Prabhuji.
this Bhagavad Gita? Jai Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So yes, absolutely right, Prabhuji. The detachment to material propensities or material, things is occurring in your life is actually progress in the Bhakti Yoga itself, because whatever is temporary, the detachment comes, right? Detachment comes. The love doesn't goes, but the detachment, comes, and the desires also goes away. This is this is
Yes.
the you're right, the correct, because abhyasen and vairagyam, because
Yeah.
both come simultaneously. It is not like one is practicing and vairagya is not coming. If you see in a person that he is saying that I am practicing, but vairagya is not coming, that the practice is not correct, because both go simultaneously, right? The philosophy and religion goes simultaneous. Similarly, the vairagya and abhyasena both go hand in hand. It is not
Right.
like that vairagya is coming and no practice is going on. No, it is not like that. Because if a runner, if I ask Usain Bolt that, okay, you have run so fast, in a single day did he did that? No, the practice was always there. Similarly, the vairagya was also there. The practice and vairagya was there. Then only one was able to achieve, because it both goes hand in hand. And secondly, Prabhuji, the soul, we are part of the Bhagwan, right? We are part of the supreme personality of Godhead as a whole. The super soul is the Paramatma, and it is also the part of Bhagwan only. Like we are the part of soul, we are not the part of super soul, we are rather the part of Bhagwan itself, right? The Bhagwan, the supreme personality
Good.
of God. And this is relation, this is you are getting is correct only, Prabhuji. And it is good. Hari Bol, Prabhuji, for sharing this,
So,
Prabhuji. Thank you.
so thank you. Nice. So nice of Prabhuji. I'm coming for the first time after a long time. But
Okay.
today lesson was wonderful, and it is almost this vanished away my all this illusion or little bit misconception regarding somehow what I am anubhaving, right?
Right,
So
right.
the thing is, thank you so nice of you,
Hari
Jai Krishna Prabhuji.
All mercy of the Lord, Prabhuji. Okay, Ananya Matari
Prabhuji,
is saying Hare Krishna. Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
yeah, Prabhuji, is
Yes,
it
Matari.
not because the soul desires to enjoy
Yes,
separately?
yes,
That is
Matari.
how the soul gets
Because,
separated from super soul.
yes, Matari, soul
So it is the
obviously
desire
wants
of the
to.
soul only, Prabhuji.
Matari, what is happening? The soul is always blissful. It cannot be, without Anand. It is all blissful. It only wants happiness. This is the, basic characteristics and nature of the soul. If you see a very rich person, you see a very poor person. One is living in a very small room. Still, he is trying to be happy. Why he is trying to be happy? Because the nature of the soul is like that. And the who is very rich, he is having various tensions of the business and all, and he is trying to become very happy. He has also tension, but he is always trying to become there. So even the pure is also trying, because it is the very much, ultimate character, or ultimate, nature of the very character of the very nature of the soul. It always wants to become happy. So Prabhupada here tells that, okay, why you want temporary happiness? You want eternal happiness, na? Because soul is always happiness, Satchidanand. So temporary happiness is not good, because it will frustrate you. The lust will come, it will not be fulfilled, because everything will be temporary. Your own body will be temporary. If you are not attached to the material things, you will attach to your own body. You will try to live longer and longer and longer, and this will be cause of the, again with the cause of the misery only. But soul is not like that. Soul always wants to be happy. So it is the, it is covered just by the conditioning. Okay, this is the happiness, little happiness I am getting is the only happiness. That is the false ego. Actually, temporary things are the false ego, which is the, soul has acquired, conditioned. But Krishna, here tells that, okay, if you want to go back to what, this is the manual, you follow it, you come back, be always happy.
So, Prabhuji, attachment to people also comes under this attachment only.
Yes, Mataji.
That will
Dhritarashtra,
be the
first
most
example is
difficult thing,
the
Prabhuji.
first, yes, Mataji. First example is the Dhritarashtra gives only Mamakas Pandavas Shaiva. He's attached to his own sons. Both are his only, no, his brother's sons only, na? So they are also his sons only. He's attached to his own son. Becoming attachment to the people. What it led to? It led to the various, brutal war only. Everyone died except some few, only Pandavas. Everyone else died.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Ananya Mataji, okay, Hare Krishna Mataji. Why don't Krishna give mercy to everyone and take them back to God? Yes, Mataji. Very good question, Mataji. Excellent question. Because the mercy is already, you have got mercy, Mataji. For example, you got a brick of gold, and you use it as a paperweight. Then it was up to you that you used it as a paperweight. Rather, you could have, you buy some worth millions of it out of it, right? So you have got this Krishna conscious mantra. You have got this, you have got this body itself, the human, human entity with, human form one has got. That is also very rare. So first gold brick you got there. Another gold brick you got, the Krishna conscious Mahamantra. So mercy is already given by the God through his devotee Srila Prabhupada, right? So already is given, Mata. So now it's up to us, because the love cannot come, out of, some punishment. Love cannot be, you cannot love someone just because, some punishment is there, something is not given to you. That's why you love someone. No, you love out of your feelings, out of your emotions, right? Like out of that only you love someone. So if you want to love, it's your will. It's your will that you love someone, right? So Krishna can only take you if you want to be there. If you don't want to be there and you are just going to avoid some punishment, you avoid something else, then you will make some chaos only over there, right? Because the intentions were not correct. So that's why the mercy is given in this form only. That okay, you try this, you become willful, become pure, become pure. Even the negative purity is also good for the Lord. Like Kamsa. Like Kamsa only wanted to, kill the Lord, only wanted to, continuous 24 hours thinking about the Lord only, how to kill him, how to kill him, how to kill him. So he got liberated. Because in the negative terms also it was pure at least. We don't have even pure intentions, pure ill intentions for the Lord or pure good intentions for the Lord. That is our state of mind, Mataji. So that's why we have already been given the mercy. We just need to act upon it. If we act, then we go back to Godhead. This is the mercy, Mataji. Because due to desire only, because we have got this body, we want to enjoy, this world. That's why we got this body. Okay, Janani Mataji has like his question. I have one question. While soul leaving the body, super soul also leaves the body of living entity at the time. Prabhuji, as I understand, soul and super soul exist in every living entity. Mataji, super soul is everywhere, in every atom also, na? So matter is already having super soul. Super soul is basically, living in the heart of that body. Then it also lives and lives into the atoms only. So it comes and goes. with the single fragment. It's a single fragment of the super soul. It is present everywhere in every atom also. Soul is migrating here and there.
Prabhuji, when you say super soul is present in every atom, you mean to say that his super soul is present in every non-living thing as well,
Yes, Mataji.
but not the man-made things, not the man-made atoms. Like
Every and no one can make atom, Mataji. Not a single grain we can make.
no, I mean, whatever the artificial things that we see, not those.
No, we are making out of matter only, na Mataji.
So those
If we
also.
if we if we suppose if we keep the seed in the earth and then the wheat comes out, so it all we are using the matter of the earth only then also. Seed is
So
also given by the
you mean
right.
to say even the furniture and everything, there is so super soul
Yes,
present.